Hello, storytellers. It's Storytelling Ron, and I'm here to talk about the annual membership and what you will be getting. If you do the Kickstarter, the annual membership is in there is like $25, but I think I'm going to make the annual membership on the website $40. So 25 with the Kickstarter, because you get, supporting me with the Kickstarter. But the annual membership, I'm going to make it 40 because I'm going to show you why. For the Lord RPG, this is the Dark Ages, and this is the one that's on the Kickstarter. This is the one that's free. I'm making this one free for just anyone just who signs up. You don't even need an annual membership. But I'm going to show you what I'm going to be bringing down the pipeline. I'm going to do Kickstarters for these as well, I think, just for the fun of it, and to produce shows. I mean, we'll see. I've got some stuff. I'm going to some conventions. I'm going to the NRB. I'm looking for some sort of like the NRB is a National Religious Broadcasters Convention, and it's in Florida this year, Orlando. I've got a booth. I'm going to be walking around in my armor, this guy right here, and I'm going to be trying to sell the shows to see if any Christian streaming services will be interested in paying for this, or partnering or something. I don't know. I'm a dude. I'm just doing this. I don't know what I'm doing, so I just love doing this. Okay, so this is what's coming up, and as you can see, I've got 48 pages done, and I'm still working on it. For the Lord Apostles of the Apocalypse, that's right. This is a Gamma World Hyperborea, fully fun, crazy setting where you're a Christian missionary going out into the wastelands of 2300 AD, Christian adherent, biblical adherent, creation science adherent. You're a missionary, but this is sort of full throttle. I'm not. In the Dark Ages one, I'm trying to keep the reality of sort of the myth and lores of beasts and creatures. But in this one, full on freedom, mutants, beasts, all kinds of crazy stuff. And so I'm having a lot of fun with this, and I'm playtesting it with a small little crazy group right now, recording it, and hopefully I'll upload those shows at some point. This will be, I think, available for the annual membership. I'm still trying to figure it out, but there's a ton of stuff in here, and it's a, I'm at least going to release this in the annual membership as far as a PDF, but then look for ways to do a Kickstarter and how that would work out. And yes, Christians in space. Oh, let me explain this. Sorry, so here's the story here's the background. I'm going to ruin this for you. Make sure or I guess as a grand minister, you need to know this. So the Apostles of the Apocalypse, what is this? This is 2300 AD. Basically, the story is that the atheists have taken over, right? Christians are persecuted, were put into prison camps, work camps, and the atheists have taken over as a communist one world government or whatever, global one world government. So that's the end times or whatever. But what's going on is that in this period, they discover trans-light drive, or whatever it is, star-light drive, that they can travel between stars systems with no time. So it's like theory of relativity, and this is a creation science thing where we do believe that there's some sort of like time. The atomic clock requires gravity, right? And gravity affects time. So if you're in a place where there's absolutely no gravity, like really no gravity, you're not being pulled by the star systems. In between the stars, there's no gravity, so time slows down. You're still traveling at the speed of light, but you are not aging at all. But I'm going to make it so that when you get to the other planets or whatever, the time of that planet is the same as like Earth, the same time. So that really time hasn't passed at all. And in between star systems, no time has passed when you're traveling. Whatever. Anyway, so once they figured that out, sorry, I'm going off a little weirdo here. But that's for the Christian sci-fi, by the way. But so that's kind of like my hyperspace, is using a sort of creation science concepts and hypotheses and theories and stuff, and for starlight travel. So, but once they discovered that, the atheists created this horrible regime, and the Christians were put into work camps, and the atheists realized that Christians were the only reliable work sources. I'm just putting that little jab in there. So they had these pretty good work camps where they were kept, and then the atheists wanted rockets to get off Earth because of climate change. The world's gonna die. They're all doomsayers. So they get rockets to go off into habit other planets, and it's called the Great Exodus. And when they do, they nuke the planet. They nuke Earth. They want to get rid of Earth. They want to get rid of the Bible. They want to get rid of Jerusalem and Israel and all of the history. So they nuke it as this mass exodus of atheist regimes leave. And there's this whole oppressive Earth that they leave behind and blow it up. So nuclear, so there's your post-apocalyptic, cool 2300 AD. And so when, over like 100 years or whatever it is, the Christians can come out of their bunkers now, and there's the radiation's gone down. There's survivors. So their mission is to go out now in little souped up armored RVs and trucks and go be a missionary, find survivors, and and give them, evangelize and set up church plants. See, isn't that cool? So how am I going to make this game? We'll go to the Christian Sci-Fi one here in a sec. This is going to be in the annual membership. So and I recommend Foundry. I recommend using Foundry just even to help you set up your. Let me adjust this map a little. To help set up your just your game. Help you set up your game. So. Which one is this? Okay, so I'm sorry, they got my daughter and her suitor are talking over there and it's distracting me. I used, so this is all I'm using. I got the Alien Empire G, check that one. I bought that one. They got the D&D 5e, which I still have. Star Wars FFG, which is, I still have some stuff. You guys hear the dog? my Chewbacca dog. Simple world building is what I use for the Foundry, and I use it I use it for games, for virtual tabletops, but it's really easy to just have that to help set up ideas and maps and stuff. It's a little easier to use that than it is to use like Photoshop. It's a little easier in here to use this, and it's kind of fun. So we're Apocalypse. Okay, here we are. Launch world. Okay, so let's go with this first. So it's a hex crawl, fun hex crawl map adventure. What you do, it's a hex crawl version. So I got a cool little, fun little thing that you roll dice, and these are going to be available as assets, and these little tiles, and I'll build up little sets of them, or we can add different kinds. But you basically have a mountain one, you have a wasteland one, and there's two versions: 2 mountains, 2 wastelands, 2 forests. And there's a city. This is a toxic one here. The toxic wastelands. They haven't got that one yet. And what you do is, so they start off in their bunker in the Christian prison camp. That's where your characters start off. And what I love to do is when they make their characters, it was really fun. They don't get to make characters. I first, as the GM, I present them with the story, and that was cool. They didn't know that we were going to do a Gamma World story or post-apocalypse. They thought we were going to do Dark Ages, and I sprung this on them. But basically, I open up the story with the colonel and the chaplain come into the rec room and talk to them about all their training and their mission and their RV that they got, and then like the chaplain or colonel tell them, what is all your training? What did you guys do to prepare? And it was just great. And then they started talking with each other, and that's when their characters were being built based on what they said. So that was really cool. You got to watch that show. I hope to upload it soon. Although I'm behind. I need to get the other ones going. So they chose, and I rolled these randomly. And here's what you do: you roll for as a GM prep. What you do is and I'll go through the. I'll do it on another video, but you roll little charts, and you get these little random which ones are on each side of the hex, and then within the hexes I have little charts where you can roll what kind of encounters. What kind of society, very 1d6. What kind of like is there a tribe there, or are they not? Are there just beasts there, mutant beasts? And it kind of comes and gives you a guide, and then you create each little 30-mile hex. What's kind of going on in that hex, and then within that hex, I create one map. And so they chose to go to the wasteland. They didn't want to go to the 2 forests that I wrote over here. And as they chose the wasteland, that's when their next mission or storyline was going to be. And of course, I prepped the 3 sides. Let me blow my nose real quick. I feel like I got to blow my nose. Okay, so after they chose the wastelands, I then rolled for these three sides, and then created a story around that, which is really, and rolled dice and got different things for them. So, for instance, on this one is a termite. It was like a rare tech thing, or I don't remember exactly the details of what I rolled, but this one was a termite. I created termites based on the rolls, and in a wasteland. So that, and then there was some salvageable technology hidden in the termite area, although they didn't really get any of it. They just ran by all that, and I was trying to get them to roll to spot or be aware of that, but they rolled so bad they just didn't do it. But we'll see. And in the forest ones was a struggling village with sacrificing to rodents, giant rodents, and this one I think was scary wolves. Ergo, when you create a forest one or a forest one, and you create the little scenario in there, you can save it. So this one over here, I'm using for one of those as well. Like if they go here or here, they'll get the foresty scary one, whatever it is. And then this one out here, I rolled, and I really liked it, the wasteland one, and this is a wasteland one. And so each of those are different. This one has an ancient, and actually this one does have the ancient technology, like a tower in the middle, but it has a giant dino creature roaming around. So if they want to get to that ancient tower, they got to get past this giant dino. Scary thing. And there's maybe some other lizards there, I don't remember. But in this one, and is the marauders, the mutant marauders, and the in cars, vehicles they got to deal with. I have a really great vehicle combat system that's really simple. It ties in with the regular scale, and like in Star Wars, they have personal scale and vehicle scale. Mine is just the same. Just it's just the armor gets tougher, and the you go from hit points to hull points, but the same. So you can use a handgun against a car. It's just harder to damage it, but there's no different rules. It's the same rules. They just have better armor. Vehicles do than humans. Like they have full plate, and then if they're like an armored tank or vehicle, they'll have full plate plus an additional armor save. So it all just flows together. There's no like separating the two. Okay, so and so this is the hexes that you're going to set up as a GM prep, and then you're going to have, here's the wasteland. Let me go to the wasteland. Ooh, let me do the right one because I just changed it. Okay, so this is their first adventure after getting off of let me toggle this on. After getting off of their home, this is where they are. Oh, let me go ahead and move this. They're right in the middle of this thing right here. And then this is where they're at. And now, let me kind of hide these things, but this is basically a giant termites underneath these mounds, right? So when they first came here, they didn't see any of this, but they've explored this whole area. Let me just hide these. And that's what's kind of handy about Foundry. And remember, Foundry is only $50, and you don't have to pay for any more. You just a one-time pay. So that's kind of why I'm going to use it. And I'm not, I've said it in other videos, but I do not use much of the modules and bells and whistles. I'm going to go ahead and show you real quick what I do use. You got to find these and download them, these modules. I just use the dice one mainly. The pointer one is kind of handy, but the new version of Foundry has its own pointer thing, which is, I guess, I love quick scale because you just use the brackets to scale up the tokens, which I don't know why that's not default, but whatever. And the rest, and the stream view is for recording a separate window that looks like the players when I do the shows. So those are handy for sure. So let me hide all this because this is the underground part of this. So I created this map, and these are all the assets that you'll be getting on the annual membership. And when they came into this area, it was just these mounds. There were some flying vultures that they had to deal with and shoot and encounter. These guys right here. And actually, this map is meant to be a generic map, so I'm going to go ahead and move these back out like to where they were. And these are the ones they burned, and then the other vultures came and picked them up as food and ate their own, burned the. So you get flamethrower. They have a flamethrower. So the rules are just like Dark Ages, exactly the same. Dark Ages though has only medieval armor and medieval weapons, and then of course in this one they have guns and vehicles, but it's all on the same charts. Just kind of goes longer. And then for the sci-fi one, a little longer, and you got laser weapons and energy stuff and spaceships, and I'm going to go to my sci-fi here in just a sec. But this is how I set it up there. They came into the area with this truck. They drove in from over here. How they dealt with these termites. There's the queen. Hey, there goes the RV. Okay, so and they rescued some people, and this is the she is injured, and they found her. Oh, well, this is the map I'm resetting. I did a copy for them so that the original story is still ongoing. But they rescued these people that came to sacrifice themselves to the termites because the witch in the forest told them to, so that they would make the place safer, their home safer. And these were like old people, and they're like, we don't want to sacrifice ourselves. That's all they know though. Why not? We need to sacrifice. Oh, this guy is still like, we need to sacrifice ourselves because the witch told us to. And of course the Christians are coming in and saying, no, that's wrong. And that's how you do it. That's how you do a Christian role-playing game. So they rescued him, and now they're going to go to the forest and figure out who this witch is and what she's doing to the village. And the witch is diabolical and has some stuff going on there. But and I love my gun shooting thing in this is awesome. The Sister Grace, her name is Sister Grace, like the nun. She's a nun type person, clergy. She got really into her guns in this last episode. It was blowing things away. So that was cool. That was fun. So this is the Wasteland one, and I've got other maps with what they're doing. Oh, it's cut off there. That's okay. I got other maps. Let me just show you, just so you can see all the different maps I got going on there. That I'm basically using these modular pieces, or I guess I'll just show you one, and that way you can. Here's a forest one that they're a forest tile, and I've just created a map, with different things going on. The village is hidden, and everything's hidden here. My players are not looking at this. And I even did another foresty one. This is a rat woods, a little different, that they're going to come through or whatever if they go to this one. Road rage. This is the mutant marauders. So this is a desert, doing a little desert color and just putting it, check out the buildings. Yep. This is all going to be on the annual membership. You're going to get all this stuff. You can do it on Foundry. You can print it out and create your own little fun little scenarios. And the combat in this is fun and simple, but feels good, feels right. And I'm still playing it, still getting a feel for it, but yeah, okay. All right, so let me go to the sci-fi one real quick because I'm just excited about this. All right, so the sci-fi one, and I'm giving it. Here's the concept. So after the post-apocalyptic, and after the Christians go in that 200-year period, they evangelize. I may make this up maybe a little bit later, like 2600. Still got to figure this out, but they evangelize, right? And for 200 years, or maybe 100 years actually. So yeah, let me bring this back down. It takes about 100 years to get back to Earth to sort of a 1970s, 80s, 90s sort of modern society or whatever. Okay. Well, the atheists, remember, that went off into outer space, one group, they call themselves the prodigals, so they're a very scary atheist regime. They return back to Earth because they still know about Earth. And they try to do an alien invasion on Earth. So that'll be another setting that I'm going to do. I haven't done that one yet. That one, so there's going to be an alien, like XCOM. There's going to be an alien invasion one, but it's from the prodigals. And the prodigals, Return of the Sun or whatever. But the atheists are using the term prodigals just to insult the Christians that they're coming to attack and terrorize. And so these prodigals use genetic mutations to make aliens and then killer robots. So scary, scary stuff. And demonic influences as well. They got a cult going on in the atheist culture of the prodigals, and so that's going to be like an alien invasion role playing game that I have yet to do. Maybe one of you guys can do it for me. A horror sci-fi as well, because so that they have an alien invasion. They finally War of the Worlds finally kind of fight them, and the virus messes up the prodigals so that they can't really attack the Earth because they don't have the same viruses anymore or immune systems, and they can't use, and their vaccines don't work. So that's sort of the storyline of that. And so then the humans have to go into the solar system. This is horror sci-fi, and clear out the prodigals that are left in the planets like Mars and Jupiter and floating around. And they have low tech sci-fi, right? The Christians, and they're called the Crusaders. The Crusaders take the fight to the prodigals in the star system. So that's the horror sci-fi version of the game that I haven't done yet. And that's sort of like Mothership or Death in Space or It's that show we all watched, The Expanse, kind of like that sort of technology. And then around 2500 D is when they finally defeat the prodigals. They get all their technology, learn about the atheist regimes out in space, which is very Star Warsy. And so 2500 AD-ish is when we Christians on Earth, realize that we have to take the mission to outer space. And so we got the translite drive technology. So in this game, the sci-fi one, you get to go to outer space and do Star Wars. And this is better than Star Wars. I'm making my claim right now that this setting makes way more sense than Star Wars or any other sci-fi setting out there that's secular, with all the aliens and stuff, because in Star Trek, because all the aliens are humans. They're all like human. Why do they all breathe and talk and act exactly like humans? So I keep saying, it's my habit. Okay, so let me do the sci-fi one just to show you how excited I am about this. Yes, I'm working on this and it's going to coming to you guys. So join me on my website. Boom. This is not the page I wanted to show you first, but let's just do it. This is the last episode that they did. This is their ship over here. And so using modular pieces, you can put together your own ships. And this matters because it's going to be part of maybe your ship being boarded. It also matters when you're being shot at. And this little guy right here these are all just map pieces. As you can see, I'm just doing, and so they're not they don't have any information on them. Well, except this, they're just tile information. But I put a little token next to them of the ship, and it has all the stats and information you need for the ship, so that it's just easy to use right there, just like a player character. It's really fun, and when you shoot, you actually will shoot a section of the ship. And so things are getting damaged. They took out our bunker. They took out the med lab. They took out the drives. They took out the guns. So it's a fun little thing. So this is a orbiting merchant ship or freighter that they came and visited. And yes, mutant genetics. This is all about the atheists went around, terraformed planets, and they used mutant genetics to create all kinds of humanoid creatures and aliens for the different planets. And they basically were mad scientists and obsessed over doing that. So you got these ogrigs. I call these ogrigs. You got little lizard guys. They're humanoid but violent. You can sub whatever. So pilots. You got all kinds of weird humans that look like sand people or Jawas. And they're all were based off of genetic mutations from humans. So that this is Christian. There's no alien aliens because God made the heavens and firmaments for His glory, not for us. So we are not even meant to survive out in space and as life forms. We're only meant for Earth, and I'll get into that in another video. But again, atheists went out, terraformed. I'm doing a little sci-fi, and so all these humanoids are all kind of messed up in different planets and kind of got weirdos and the wigwarts and so the players which are over here right now, the two players, and I'm recruiting for players. I think I might have some already, but these two are the characters right now. They're in a saloon right now, and they got some weirdos. They got there's a weird priestess of the Oracle there, and there's where you can buy and sell stuff, and they went and bought and sold some stuff with these little techie people. They also went to a planet. Let me go to the planet. This is from in Steam. There's an astronomy program where you can kind of go in and look at stuff. I don't have the commercial license for it. This is just the basic one. I might do the commercial license if I'm going to use it. I'll see if I use it more like this to create those different planets that you go to. I should probably buy the commercial license for it. It's not that expensive. So this is a base that they found. They beat the Red Cult and took over this base, and it's hidden in the clouds. This is a Toga platform, which is the Jawas. So they've only gone to one planet, this planet, and it's all platform based. There are, Tatooine type planets. There's one there that I'm working on. But again, all modular based. You can place it just like in just like I showed in the Apostles of the Apocalypse, how I did those wasteland and forest. That's exactly what I'll be doing for the sci-fi one. You just make little maps like that. for each planet and create your little settings, and they can go on an adventure, encounter things, and come up with your own drawings. And these are like Jawas that they rescued, and so the beginning mission too was that they fought these crabs that were, and they're kind of burnt right now, the color of them. I just made them. I put the color here just to show them burnt. But let me show you some of the where are we at here? Critters. So this is what they actually look like, the little critters. Let me show you. So you're going to get a lot of assets. The Apocalypse assets work here. The Dark Ages ones work here. I even got an impending dreadnought, scary killer robots on here. I've gotten all the little factions you can think of for settings in this game, like killer robots, mutant bugs, swarms, because the mad scientists and the engineers, and they all fought each other, and they all created crazy genetic mutation things, and they created like a killer bug that creates a hive and swarm, and it's going around the star systems, invading and killing people, and the killer robots are killing people. Everybody's killing everybody in this atheist sci-fi world, and the Christians are coming in and teaching them about Christ, about planting churches, and that's what they're doing here. They rescued these guys would sacrifice to the red cult. They sacrificed 2 sons, giving them up to the red cult, and of course, so the Christians went in and fought them and said, no, that's bad, wrong and bad, and brought back their sons. And now they're going to plant a church on this platform. Christian sci-fi. So that's my pitch now for the annual membership on my website. This stuff's going to be slowly, I'm going to dole this stuff out on there. I think after this Kickstarter, I'll do the Apocalypse one. So, and I'm just having fun doing this. I got games going on, and if any of you need any help with as a minister of these games, please let me know, and I'll do not even a YouTube video. I'll just do we can do a Zoom workshop or practice run and work on it. Okay, all right. Thank you for listening. Pretty exciting stuff for me, anyway. Hope it can be for you too. All right.